Welcome to today's battle report, and today we're going to be fighting a battle in the Roman-Jewish War. At the beginning of the Roman-Jewish War, the Jewish forces captured the coastal ports. Most of the coastal ports were Greek, and they captured them off the Greeks and set up ships to do pirate raids against Roman shipping. The best way of winning a war, of course, is to attack the enemy's logistics. If the Roman army can't be supplied with food, then the Jews would win. Unfortunately, they were fighting Vespasian. Vespasian was not a genius commander. He was not a brilliant commander. He was a very slow, methodical commander who just quietly did what needed to be done. And so he quite logically attacked the coastal ports rather than the pirate ships. It costs a lot of money and expense and manpower to send ships out to hunt down pirates. It's much easier just to burn their house. So the Romans captured the pirate bases, which were the towns on the coast of Judea, and the pirates then eventually had to go and hand themselves in to the Greeks and seek sanctuary, which is basically what happened. This is a battle set during this period. The Roman troops have landed on the shores of the town. You can see the first two cohorts have been deployed already. The Jewish forces have come out ready to fight. You can see them positioned. And then at the back here we have a Roman legion and some supporting troops marching on their way to the rear. One of the best ways of taking a town is to take it from both directions at the same time. Force your enemy to divide its power and you win. As for the Jewish forces, we have a large number of infantry, very little cavalry, just one unit of light cavalry. The Romans are mostly on foot, they've got one unit of cavalry themselves. The Romans on the boat have two cohorts of legionaries, half cohort of bowmen and two ballistas. The ballistas are positioned on the boat and can be used to shower the town with bolts of metal, which is quite unpleasant if you're on the receiving end. The Jews themselves have a couple of captured Roman ballistas or Scorpios, which they're going to use to pound into the Romans if they get half a chance. So there we have it. The Jewish forces are deployed and ready to fight, and the Romans are about to begin, so we will see how the battle goes. So here ends the first round, and the Romans at the rear, coming in the back of the Jewish forces, have successfully fended off an attempted attack by the Jewish forces and have routed the two Jewish units at the far flank, who are only skirmish troops anyway, but my cavalry have just run them down, and that's really the end of them. There's one Jewish unit still standing. It's got 4 hits so far, and another unit in support, but I'm afraid they're pretty much on their own in this battle. Even better news at the beach. Here you can see the Roman troops who have landed off the ship have managed to rout 2 complete units of Jewish infantry. One unit of Sicarii, which is now on its way home, and another unit of Zealots who have decided that they don't want to fight this war anymore. And over here, I'm afraid the Zealots are holding up the Marines. Roman Marines aren't as good as your Roman legionaries, but they're pretty good. Unfortunately, they're not capable of beating the Zealots, who've managed to stop them dead just here. Also, the boat has been under attack from the tower, but not much damage has been done, a few casualties. And overall, it's not been a brilliant turn for the Jews. Although they got some pretty good dice to actually move with, they just didn't seem to be up to the actual fight. So we'll see what happens in the next turn. And that's the end of turn 2, and I should point out that this is one of the shortest run games in history. The Romans have fluffed their order dice and ended up rolling an advance towards the tower. So the Romans have attacked the tower and are doing quite a bit of damage to the troops inside the tower, but the troops are holding out and the Romans are pretty much disordered down there. It's not doing well for them. However, the boat has pounded and destroyed the cavalry that were hiding behind the back there, because that's the sort of thing they do. Over here, the Romans have successfully surrounded the Jewish infantry and are slowly slaughtering them, so it doesn't really look good for them at all. And the Roman legions are approaching the last surviving intact unit of zealots. In the town, just off the wharf, the Marines have managed to push back the zealots, and the zealots have broken and are on their way home, although small units of skirmish infantry still hold the houses on both sides. Not that they're going to make much difference. So this really only leaves one intact unit of Jewish medium infantry and a small skirmish unit not committed to the battle, and that's not going to last very long. And welcome to turn 3. Oh dear, the game is over. It was one of the shortest played games we've done. It's funny how doing battle reports seems to speed games up, as in everyone just gets killed really quickly. In this turn, the Marines have managed to basically destroy the troops inside this house and set fire to it, which was nice of them. The ship engaged and pushed the Jewish light infantry out of this building, hence the smoke, and cavalry came in and mopped up the survivors. And the last zealots attempted to make a last stand just here and have finally gone. They've broken, and so have their supports. So, game over. Oh, I should also point out the horrific mess that has become of the watchtower, which is now burning. So now the Romans have an instant lighthouse, because it's getting dark and they probably want dinner, and they want to bring the rest of the fleet into land and all that. So yes, very interesting game. It lasted a lot shorter than I expected it to, and it was certainly a lot of fun to play. I do apologise for only having one ship at the moment, but I've only got one ship, so you have to put up with it. As for everything else, the Jews performed terribly, the Romans performed excellently, which really depends on who's playing Jews, to be honest, because if certain other people in the room were playing Jews, they'd probably have won. So, there we go. I hope you enjoyed the battle report. Please click subscribe and like and all the other things you have to do, and this has been Vespasian. G'day.